What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Steve here, Raiken Profit. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. This is a little bit of a spontaneous video. I went thrifting earlier and I found a whole bunch of like really cool clothing items. So I put out a post in the green room asking anybody if they wanted to come on camera with me and share some of their clothing finds recently. And I was hoping that Christopher Lin would comment, but I didn't know if he was going to be out sourcing, and he did. And here he is. I'm here with Christopher Lin, Green Room member, eBay seller, entrepreneur, and he actually started up his YouTube channel as of late, which is...
It's 10K on the bay. So hopefully Steve puts a link in the description, but it's pretty easy to find.
Yep, it's already in the description right now. So if you guys go down to the description area, it says subscribe to Christopher Lin, and his channel's right there. Give him a quick subscribe, guys, because he's putting out some really cool content. But anyways, guys, in this video we're going to be sharing with you guys a live clothing haul. I found a whole bunch of items as of late. Also had a couple items that I found over the last few weeks that I'm going to share from Goodwill and from Savers and Salvation Army. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be going back and forth sharing the items that we found. I'm going to wait for Christopher to get situated over there. He's actually on his cell phone because we were having like this Google 404 error issue where it wouldn't let him join on his MacBook Pro, which for some reason... Wait, you have a MacBook, right?
I do.
Cool. I love MacBooks. But for some reason, there's issues like that. So we apologize about that. Let me shout some people out while Christopher gets situated. Nick Rock is saying, let's go. Chris, the Legal Hustler, what's up? What type of e-commerce store do you have? Well, right now we're going to be talking about eBay, selling clothing on eBay. Sam Kirker, what's going on, Sam? Fran, need more stuff. I like that name right there, especially ready since it's super awesome. Exactly. Chicago Crown Hustler, Ashley, Rocco. We got a whole bunch of people in the comments section. So, Chris, man, do you want to give yourself a little more of an introduction, and then we'll just dive right into the clothing haul?
Sure. I mean, I'm just here to learn like everybody else. I really like clothing because it's abundant. I actually have to shout Raiken out because his channel is really what got me started into selling used clothing. And I didn't really get into eBay because I couldn't figure out something that was abundant. So after watching his videos, I got into clothing. Now I'm going hard into it and learning as much as I can because it's everywhere.
Cool, man. And how long have you been selling clothing on eBay, like going really hard as of late?
I tested it in October, and I've been going really hard since January 9th.
And those are all your, is that your clothing inventory behind you with the bins and
yeah, you guys can see I'm in the lair. I'm trying to basically create a movable workstation. So this is actually on a dim sum cart right now.
Nice.
I'm trying to, force myself to stay in here where I have to work, basically.
Awesome, cool. So yeah, let's dive into it. Do you have your clothes ready to share?
I do. You want to start?
I'll start, or you want to start? What do you think, man? Do you want to start, or?
I'll go first.
Cool, yeah. Show your first item, and we'll bounce back and forth, and we're going to talk about the brands, what it's worth, and all that good stuff.
So you guys know from some of my videos, I like to buy bulk. So this is the first tag. It's American Eagle. This is just a classic dress shirt. I like to sell whites, blues, simple designs, people that it's easy to match. This is sort of a staple item. American Eagle is not a super high brand, but I still sell a lot of Old Navy, American Eagle, as long as it's in great condition, no flaws. I check all the buttons. This I paid, I think, only 50 cents for at the Goodwill bins. So you're looking at, minimum if I sell for 10 plus shipping. I make a little bit of money on the shipping because I charge for shipping. So I'm going to try to net $10 listing it for $10 plus shipping.
Cool. Awesome, man. I'll jump in next. So I literally just got back from Salvation Army. And do you have any Salvation Armies out you're in California, right?
We do, but they're closing.
Really?
They're not doing a good job, and Goodwill is just smashing them out here in the Bay Area. So
over here, they're kind of dirty and overcrowded, and they're just, I don't know, they don't present their stuff really well. And I have a feeling, I was just talking to my mom the other day when we were out thrifting. I was like, Salvation Army is like, it's got a couple of years left until it's gone, I feel like, just because, I don't know, they don't do a really good presentation. But anyways, every Wednesday at Salvation Army in Connecticut, we have half off of all the colors except one color. Today, blues weren't half off, but this is a green. I don't know if you ever heard of this brand. This is funny because I do so many videos where I just research items, and sometimes I just recognize a brand. This is called Bergdorf Goodman. Have you ever heard of that?
Definitely. They're a big department store in New York City.
Okay, cool. So I didn't really know much about it, to be honest. Like, I know I've studied this brand before. Um, the tag says flax, 100% flax. It feels like linen. I don't know if flax means linen or rayon. I'm not sure. Do you know what that is?
I only know about flaxseed. Maybe you can eat it.
It's got a bunch of essential fatty acids in this one. So after your workouts, have yourself a Bergdorf, whatever this is called. But super nice. The sold listings were showing around anywhere from like 15 up to 45. So I need to do a little more research. The color was just interesting, a little odd. Good tag right there. So $6.99 half off. Paid $3.50 on that.
Awesome. We're gonna look at Pronto Uomo. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Italian. Sure. I like to take a gamble if it sounds Italian. It also says made in Italy on it. And these shirts have a huge range. I mean, I've seen from 15 to 60 on these shirts, depending on style. I didn't find one with the exact pattern, but it is. Let me see if I can find out what it's made out of. And I was going to ask you, Steve, if you leave the dry cleaning tag on, it's kind of tacky, but it also sort of indicates that they care more about the item.
I'll usually leave it on just because I think I don't know. I just feel like if I was a customer and I'd gotten it, it made it, like you said, it made it feel like, you know, they really cleaned it and cared about me.
I got it on a half off sale at Goodwill. It was $5.99. So I paid a little bit more than I normally do, $3, but it's hard to lose if you have a nice Italian brand.
Cool. Awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
So this was my best find from today. I'm really, happy about this. I'm going to see if you guys can guess. I'm attached with a cord right now, so I'm trying not to destroy this live feed. But can anyone guess what brand this is off the top? You can probably see it. I'm going to hide it. Can anyone guess what this is? What do you think, Christopher? Any guesses?
Rock and Republic?
Close. Rock Revival.
Oh, Rock Revival.
This is the Eldon straight style. And I mean, just check out the insides. I mean, check out the quality of just the stitching. When I first saw this, I was thinking, it looked like a True Religion jean. But just check out the stitching. I mean, this is like super, super high quality. I don't know if I've ever picked up a pair of jeans so nice. I mean, the details are just crazy. The buttons are so thick and strong and sturdy. There's the design inside. I mean, super phenomenal find right here. Best find of the day for me. This was $6.99. I still got the tag on it. And like I said, Salvation Army was half off today. So $3.50. The sold listings, I looked very quickly for about a minute or two. And I was seeing some at like 50, 60, 70, 80. I don't know if I can get that high, but dude, the quality is just so nice on this. I mean, just crazy find right there.
The next one I have up, I think Steve talks about this a little bit in some of his videos. The brand is actually Free Nature, which I've never heard of.
I don't think I've ever talked about that one. I don't know it off the top, or maybe I do.
And the reason I bought it is because it has cactuses all over it. And sometimes I'll buy a shirt just because of the print. This is cool. If I put the keywords of Western or cactus, I'm positive I can sell this just because of the word Western. So people are looking for casual shirts to wear. This is more unique. If you wore this swing dancing or something, you'd definitely get some comments. So I'm going to list this at $24.99. I think it should be fine. And this, again, was a 50-cent item at the Goodwill bins. So can't really lose.
It's hard to lose, man, with something like that at 50 cents. All right. So next up is an item. I actually found this about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And it's been sitting in the death pile. $14.99 at Savers. This is 100% leather. Scully. You ever heard of that brand, Chris?
I haven't.
It's a Western. Speaking of Western, this is a Western style brand right here. It's got that, I don't know, just that Western feel to it, just based on the little design going down right here. 100% leather. Scully. This is a brand right there that could bring you in some really, really big money. This one right here paid $14.99. I think I had 30% off, so I got it for like $10. And I'm guessing this is probably going to go anywhere between 60 to 100, maybe more, maybe less. But need to do some more research, guys. If you have a good brand and it's leather, you're going to make some really good money.
Let's see here. Here, I wanted to ask, Steve is more of the expert with blazers. This is a Ralph Lauren green label.
Okay.
Blazer and suit that I got, and or a suit rather, and it's a size 50R.
Yep.
So it's a pretty big size. I think it'll do 50 to 75 bucks. I think the green label is one of the lower brands.
Is it the top, or is it just the suit jacket, or does it come with the pants as well?
I have the pants too. I have the pants also.
Oh, perfect.
So I'll probably list it at $100 and do a 30% off sale. But I got it for $10, so that's a good find.
Yeah, I think it's a good find. Just because suits tend to do well in the Ralph Lauren brand, and since it's big, like a 50 regular, those are hard to come by. So I think that's a great find right there. Here's another find that I had come across at Savers. I've been finding some crazy stuff lately. $15.99, 30% off. So I got this for about, I don't know, 11 or 12 bucks. This is by NBA Majestic. This is a Celtics jacket right here, and Celtics stuff does very, very well. It looks like a satin jacket. I don't think it's satin. I don't know. It's kind of a thicker material. It's not as, I guess you'd consider it a satin jacket. I don't know. But Celtics right here, 11, 12 bucks after fees. It does have a little bit of a flaw right here, which I'm going to try to scrub out. If it doesn't come out, I don't think it's going to kill the value, just because this is probably from like the tag kind of looks newer, so maybe early 2000s. I'm not sure. I forgot what the sold listings were showing, but I'm guessing I could get at least $50 on that, which is pretty cool item, guys. Be on the lookout for sports stuff.
All sports stuff does pretty well. So, Steve, I'm actually going to delve a little bit into women's clothing.
Cool, man. Let me take out my pen and pad.
That's right. As long as I'm right now, since I'm a beginner, I'm just looking for new with tags. So, which you still find at the thrift store. So it's Kristen Blake. I have a relationship at 5 different Goodwills where they will hold stuff for me.
Wow.
And since I don't know anything about women's, I'm just saying any new with tags, I'll look it up and I'll do it. And I paid $7 for this. It's a pea coat. It is wool. It doesn't say what kind of wool, but I think I should do just fine. And this is one of those things where they're expecting me to buy it. So even if I don't have time to research it, but they're like, if you want this relationship to continue, you're going to buy everything that we want you to buy. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a mob mentality, but I like it.
Yeah, for $7, man, Ralph Lauren, brand new with tags. You can't go wrong with that. Here's an item I showed in a video a couple days ago, but I just want to show it one more time, man. This is one of those puffer Patagonia jackets. It's got the hood on it too, which makes it even more valuable. What do you think I paid for this, Chris? Did you see the video that I had with this or no?
I didn't see that video, but I think you paid $12.
$5.99, dude.
Holy
this thing
crap.
looks like it's never been worn before. It's super nice, man. It's got the vented pockets inside. This is the primer loft right here, size small. Just I'm guessing probably, I don't know, $75, maybe $80 or more.
I think no problem. Here's one. It's Wilson's. I have quite a, there's kind of a large range on this. It's a full trench coat. I paid up a little bit for this. I paid $14 for it. Mm-hmm. It's like a red burgundy leather, kind of like Fight Club. And it's a size 10. Again, this is a women's item, so I'm not sure. It's pretty awesome. So hopefully somebody buys this. I'm gonna price it. There was no solds, so I'm gonna price it at $100 and just see. But you never know. Sometimes you can't find a comp, and you just have to rely on the quality of the leather. And this is a pretty nice coat.
Have you sold a lot of leather stuff in the women's category?
Only men's. I've only sold men's jackets, motorcycle jackets, but women, I'm just still learning.
I see a lot of women wearing leather, so I think it's in style. Here we have a good old Pendleton right here. Can't go wrong with this. Always double, triple, quadruple check Pendletons for flaws, missing buttons, tears, rips, weird odors like cigarette smell, because it's just hard to get these things out. Pendleton, made in the USA, half off, $3. Beautiful color. I'll probably shoot for I don't know, $30 or so, maybe more probably, because it's really nice. It's in like mint condition right here. You ever find any Pendletons, man, in the Bay?
Tons of Pendleton, and
Are you
also
serious?
lots of Pendleton women's, which is not good.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't do as well.
there's a lot of Pendleton here. I mean, I think it's like a more of a hippie
Yeah.
style brand.
Cool.
Here's a collectible brand for you guys. JCPenney about to go out of business. Just kidding. It's probably not worth anything, but you see those all the time, like Merona or JCPenney or the basic brands. I usually stay away from them unless I get them at the bins for 50 cents. But I do have a good one, which is Ted Baker, which is a brand I really like. I think they're British. I stay away from sort of the plain ones, but this one's kind of bright and loud. And bright and loud shirts, I mean, ugly sells on eBay. So I don't know if I would wear this, but it's kind of loud. I think I'm going to price it at $39.99 and run a sale. But Ted Baker does pretty well for me.
Hey, are you listing your items, or do you have people helping you out right now listing?
Right now, I have people listing. And this week, I've dedicated really to train them to list better, because the quality of the listings has degraded because I haven't been watching them. So it's not set it and forget it. Like, you have to, even if you hire a lister, like, I'm paying them per item. So quality is not their main concern. So I need to make sure the pictures are in focus and really focus on that.
Yeah, it's slow at first, man. I remember when I was training it was a friend and then an ex-girlfriend at the time. It was a slow process, and you've got to consistently be on them. I went out thrifting with my buddy Tim Fisk. I don't know if you know Tim, Chris. He's in the green room as well. He lives a town over from me. But this is a brand. I'm going to see if anybody can guess what brand this is. The brand starts with an F. F for Frank. And this is a brand where you literally pick up anything. Anything in this brand can make you really good money. A lot of times you'll find like vintage stuff, like vintage wool vests and stuff. I'll share it. $8.49. Filson. CC Filson. Probably one of the best brands of like all time in terms of like buying. Like, maybe I don't know what's better. Probably Willis and Geiger. I don't know if you know that brand, but Willis and Geiger and Filson are like up there. You find anything in that brand, you're looking at big money. It's plain, it's basic, it's ugly. There's nothing special about it. I'm touching it, I'm feeling it. It's, I'm kissing it. There's nothing that special about it. But you want to know what's special? It's just the tag, CC Filson. Sometimes you just find that brand and it just goes for big bucks. Just a button front, spread collar, it's kind of like an outdoor shirt right here, button front. I mean, this $8.49, I'll probably shoot for 30 or 40 bucks, I'm guessing. So
I thought you were going to say fashionable or fashionable until you said old.
Yeah.
They don't make a lot of old stuff. Let's see here. Sorry, trying to get situated.
No worries.
So here I have another one, which I kind of took, I didn't take too big of a risk, but I bought a Calvin Klein suit.
I've done well with those in the past.
And it was $10 again, so I think I'll do okay. It's a 48R, so it's a larger size. So this is the CK. And then I wanted to ask Steve, because a lot of the blazers I get say Macy's or Dillard's or Nordstrom on the other side. And I don't really know what that means, other than maybe it's an exclusive.
Well, I think that's the store they sell it at. Like, if you ever go to like JCPenney, sometimes they'll sell like other brands and stuff. The same with Macy's. So I think it's like an exclusive. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has to do with, selling it exclusively at that store initially. I'm guessing. If anybody knows in the comments, leave a comment down below. I'm looking at the comments right now. We got Vogue Squared saying, I have one of their watches, upscale sales. What's going on? Clear and Clutter for Clarity. I love that name. Jim Zimmerman says, can someone put those brands in the chat, please? after the show, I'll try to make a list and put it in the description. All right, what do I have next? Here's a brand that doesn't do as well as it used to. You know, probably partly due to Facebook groups and YouTube videos, and just everybody knows about it now. Most people didn't know about it a couple of years ago, but the brand is Paul and Shark Yachting. You ever heard of that brand?
No, I haven't.
Dude, Paul and Shark Yachting. I don't know if you ever see it, man. Pick it up. This is a button front shirt. It's gonna do better than like a bland normal one. Sometimes this brand will only go 15, 17, 20 bucks if you want to get rid of it quick. I think this one I'd probably aim for like 30 bucks on, maybe, just to, buy it now, or a best offer, maybe 35. Paul and Shark Yachting, nice plaid shirt. I like the colors. You got the blue and the orange. Just a nice brand right there. Be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. I know you guys know I love to sell like snapbacks. So I picked up this hat. I call it RVCA, but I think skaters call it Rivka.
Okay.
Popular skate brand. Anything camo sells great for me. So, the classic hat, I'm going to list this at 30 bucks just because there are no comps exactly like it. And people will make an offer. And of course, these ship the cheapest rate of 4 ounces, which is $2.61. So anything under 4 ounces, you guys should just pick up. There's way less risk because the buyer has to pay a lot less for shipping.
Nice. Where'd you find that?
Oh, this one is Salvation Army.
Salvation Army.
Yep. So I paid, or Salvation Army here, they charge between $1 and $3 for the hat. And they sort of figured it out. They charge more if it looks old, because people sort of looked at like that well-worn in look.
Cool. So we have, we're about halfway through the show right now. 159 people watching live. Chris, what do they got to do right now, man? We only have 31 likes, but 160 people watching. I'm no mathematician. I'm not a CPA, an accountant, a lawyer. I don't have my, PhD, but something's just not adding up.
You guys, there's only 2 things you can do here. You can either gently caress the like button or smash it, is what Steve would say. So go ahead and hit the like, subscribe if you haven't.
We'd appreciate
Make sure you like the video. Let us know if we're doing a good job.
And also be sure, guys, if you are taking a liking to Chris, be sure to look in the description area as well. First line says subscribe to Christopher Lin. Go over to his channel and give him a sub. He's got some pretty cool videos over there. And one of his most popular ones is him sharing his system for inventory and how he stores it all, which I know is a big problem that a lot of us have. Is trying to figure out how to find items when they sell and keeping things organized. Am I up next? I think so.
You're up next. I think I'm up, but go ahead.
Here's another Pendleton. Wow, it looks blue in the camera, but this is actually dark brown. This is kind of like listing on eBay. Okay, there's the natural color right there. Pendleton. But I want to share this brand with you again, and I'm going to ask Christopher, do you see anything on this Pendleton that makes it worth a little more?
Definitely the elbow patches.
Yes. That's it, guys. If you can find a Pendleton button front with elbow patches, you're looking at definitely more money. Also, if you could ever find them with like the leather on like the upper shoulder area, which I like rarely ever find, those are big money as well. But 100% woolen mills, 100% wool, virgin wool, leather elbow patches on the side, excellent condition, no flaws. I'll probably shoot for 50 bucks on this, to be honest, because it's just so clean. And with the elbow patches, it'll go quick.
Let's see. Here is New York and Company. I think it's pretty much a girl brand. This is a girl dress shirt, which I'm sort of expanding into. You got to know your area. I live in the Bay Area, so there's a lot of professional women here. And I haven't had any problem selling professional slacks or dress shirts or blazers for women also. I don't know a ton about it. I just heard New York and Company on a lot of girl YouTuber channels. So I'm taking a risk, only 50 cents at the bins. It's going to force me to learn more. So I'm just going to pick some up.
You know what I like about what you're doing, Chris, because you're somewhat new and you're still learning. First of all, you're not fearful, right? You're just like experimenting and buying everything you can, but you're being smart about it. And I like to call it, you're learning on a budget, because you're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable. Some of these items you're going to share aren't going to do well, or they're not going to do as well, and you're going to learn from your mistakes. But you're buying, you're experimenting, you're listing, you're putting systems in place, And, you know, this whole eBay game, especially with clothing, dude, it's just a big journey. It's figuring out what works for you, your specific business model, right? You have employees, you have people helping you, so you can go for the lower dollar stuff. Whereas me personally, as you can see, I'm going for more of the higher end stuff because I don't have anyone helping me out anymore. I don't have my warehouse space. Um, but I'm considering possibly hiring a part-time lister when I move into my new place. So I'll keep you guys posted with that. Who's up?
I just did New York and Company.
Okay, cool. This is my last item, guys. This was really, really, really cool. And you might be looking like, this is just a Ralph Lauren hoodie. No, it's not. It's not just any normal one. And I've actually been wearing this, so it has a little cheddar cheese crust on the side. But this is a Ralph Lauren polo, hooded hoodie, whatever you want to call it. It's got the hood on it. It's got the cool little, whatever these things are called right here, coming out where you could kind of tighten up the hood and everything. What would you call these?
Drawstrings.
Yes, drawstrings, full zip. This is unique. This is not easy to come across. I've been thrifting for 5 years, and I probably only come across this style a few times. And also another thing, you just feel it. It's thick, it's sturdy. And I've actually, my game plan is to wear this until it gets warm and then resell it. I paid $11.99, paid more than I would typically want to pay for something like this, but I needed something like that. So I'm going to wear it. I paid about, I don't know, 13, 14 bucks after tax. I'm going to wear it for another month and a half. I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to sell it for about 40 bucks. Yes, $40, maybe more, because it's hard to come across. I'm going to make a profit. So that's my last item right there. That's my clothing haul. I have a few other random board games and stuff I'll share, but feel free to finish up your haul, Chris.
So this is going to be my last item too. I just want to share with you guys that I have Banana Republic is something people can find anywhere. It's definitely going to resell for lower, but I want to just make sure you guys know that there's also Banana Republic Factory Store, which has the 3 dots at the bottom. And you guys can see that, you know, the quality is going to be thinner. It's cheaper. It's definitely, they're manufacturing stuff for the outlets that's cheaper, that they price at a lower price point. And J. Crew does the same thing. But I'll still pick it up, especially if it says slim fit on it, because it just has a higher, for me, it does better. So I'll price a slim fit at 30 and I'll do a regular at 20, and I'm always running sales. And so that's one way that you can, I mean, anybody can find Banana Republic. If you have time or you're just getting started, these are the ones you can get the discount on. They're not going to give you a deal on a more rare one, but these ones, they get so many donations.
There's a million of them out there.
Like they'll give them to you for, you know, a bulk deal.
You know, I've actually had success lotting up Banana Republic items. Banana Republic,
that's a good idea.
Hollister, Gap, American Eagle, those brands that are kind of like, they're not super cheap. Like in the store, they go for good money, but like they don't resell for a lot of money. But if you lot them up in the same with the same size, you'll actually do very well.
Awesome.
So feel free to show a couple more items if you want, because my haul is pretty much done right now.
Let's see. I'm just gonna go over some of my strategies, because like this is a brand called Calibrate, and I can tell for sure by feeling it that it's not going to go for very much money. Sometimes when you start selling clothing, you'll be able to find out really quick if it's going to sell or not. And this doesn't. It's, again, part of my bulk deal. And I'm going to look at basically to make sure it's in perfect condition, but it's just a plain blue check shirt, which still has some utility value. But if I didn't have a lister, this would go straight into the redonate pile, because it wouldn't be worth my time at all to do it. But, you know, if you have extra lister time, do it. But if not, even me with lister time, I'm kind of afraid now of wasting my lister's time even. But I still think if you're buying a bulk deal, don't immediately donate the stuff. Feel it, just so you can see, okay, this is why this is a $10 shirt and why this one is a $100 shirt. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think you're point on. I think you're right on point, man, with that.
Here's another brand that is not, you know, will do okay if I find it new with tags. And I find Izod a lot new with tags because they are company shirts. A lot of companies give these away as staff shirts or uniforms. So you'll find tons of them that are brand new. They still do okay new. You'll still get at least 15 to 20 bucks. And make sure that when you buy it, that there's not a company logo on it. of a brand, of a company that people have never heard of, because you can't resell that. Nobody wants to advertise that unless it's cool and it says like, Harvard. Then people will buy it because they recognize that company brand. You have now an extra keyword.
Yeah, I saw a really cool item at Salvation Army today. I forgot what brand it was, but it was like a London. It was a higher end brand. Um, it had the initials stitched on the chest of the owner, And those, I mean, I've tried it before. I've tried selling those with the stitched initials. They like literally never sell, and if they do, it's like an accident and you get a return. It's happened to me like 5 times, and I'm like, okay, I'm not messing with this anymore.
Absolutely. Again, here's another brand that works well in lots. I'm just experimenting with lots. I just watched Steve's last video on lots. This is Nordstrom. Again, not a cheap shirt in the store. $40 to $70, but they don't resell great. So
Yeah.
you can get a bunch of sizes together. I know booksellers collect sets. I might start doing that with dress shirts and just collect similar size items. And Steve even mentioned the tip where you don't even have to have the same brand. And then you're not really keyword spamming if you have both in the title.
Yeah.
So that's a really pro tip. Let's see. This might be my last one to share. Oh, this brand is all over the map. This is Land's End.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just think it depends on the material. They have wool stuff that does pretty well.
They have some stuff that
This one,
actually is really, really, really nice. I've never really experimented with that brand because the sold listings seem to be really bad on it, but I haven't
right?
put a lot of thought into it.
And here's the reason why I bought it, because it's a men's tall. So I do like the sizes when they're longer, because some people, you don't overlook the double long, which is crazy, or the super big sizes. You can sell pretty much anything that's like 6XL.
Oh yeah.
Because those, it doesn't, the brand doesn't matter as much as the size. Actually, this is a little fun, but I'm going to show you guys this last item I bought. I just bought sort of a ghetto pair of Adidas, but let's see if people in the comments can
Nice.
guess what size this is. Here, yeah.
I'm looking at the
Anyway,
comments now.
let's
I'll
see
start
if people
shouting
can
out some
guess.
people.
People can guess what the size is. But yeah, that was my last item.
Cool, man. Yeah, definitely an awesome haul right there. And hopefully you guys learned some stuff. The cool thing about eBay is you can choose your own business model, right? You can sell high-end stuff, low-end stuff, a mix of both. You can do all the listing yourself. You can hire somebody. So people are guessing 15, 13. Someone said a big shoe, 13, 16, 12. What's the size of it?
19.
Holy mackerel. LeBron James donated his shoes.
So size 19, they're not buying it at Foot Locker. There are no size 19 there. So we'll see what happens.
I've seen a couple shoes that big. It's just like I think to myself, how am I going to ship that out? I'm gonna have to put it in like a 16 by 16 by 15 box. They're so big. But that's the cool thing about finding those really, really big items, whether it's a shoe or it's, a shirt. The market's not huge for it, but the small market, the customers out there that are looking for it, they're going to pay whatever because you decide the price, because there's not going to be a lot of listings. There's not going to, it's just one of those things where if you're willing to sit, you can get some good money for that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was asking in the comments section, I don't know if how deep you want to dive into the personals of how much you're paying your listers and whatnot, but somebody was asking about, how you kind of deal with like paying your listers and how you like kind of overlook them and all that.
Right now I'm paying $2 per listing, but I think I may actually reduce that slightly and add some kind of commission structure. I don't know how to do that, but I think that might reduce the time I have to spend quality control. Because if they get paid on the back end, they're going to do a good job on the front end.
See, I like
don't know how to do that.
Dude, I like your thinking there, but because trust me, I was in the same boat as you a couple of years ago, and I had initially started where I didn't have any warehouse space or anything. So what I was doing was I was dropping all my clothes off at my buddy's house, and he was listing them all. And I would pay him kind of like what you're doing. I believe I would pay $1 for polo shirts, $1.50 for button fronts, $2 for suits, $1.50 for blazers, sport coats, and whatnot. I actually had a different structure because I didn't want to pay $2 for a polo shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so quick. So you might want to consider that. But I would actually, Christopher, I was actually thinking about doing the whole commission thing. But it's got to be a pain in the what, man, to do that. You know how much, like, logistically, how much time that's going to take you, unless you have a software that does it. Without a software, man, you know how much of a pain in the butt that's going to be? And then what happens if there's a return or something like that? I mean, just imagine how much time that's going to take you. I have no expertise in this, so I'm just giving you my bro science opinion. But what's your thoughts on it?
So I was thinking, this is kind of crazy, but I was hoping that I could get my listers to also kind of do the accounting. So I was just like, maybe if they get paid on the back end, they'll enter it in because they want to know how much they're getting paid, and if I can create sort of a longer term relationship rather than right now, I can tell that my listers, they're just doing it to make some extra money. This is not like a long term gig for them.
Yeah.
So, which is, I don't think eBay lister is a legitimate career. You could do eBay for a living, but just the listing part doesn't pay very much.
Let's ask the commenters what they think. What do you think Christopher should do? What would you guys do if you were in his shoes? Would you pay per item and then risk not being able to build that long-term relationship? Or would you pay based on commission, which would be an incentive for them to do a really, really good job, because obviously the higher quality, to an extent, the more money you would make. So I'd be curious to know what folks in the comments have for an opinion on that. While people comment on that, I'm gonna shout out another question from Nick's Dynasty. How would you start buying clothes in bulk if you live in an area without bins, making deals with managers, liquidations, or what? So what's your advice on that, Chris?
I get all my best deals from regular retail. I just barely introduced to the bins by another green room member, Mo Fremont. I'll shout him out because he introduced me to the bins. But most of the stuff at the bins is rejects from the actual Goodwill. So my recommendation is go to the Goodwills, buy something from a regular employee, not the manager, the employee, and have the employee introduce you to the manager, so you get a referral in rather than just going straight up. And this is like straight from the, if you go to the bar, you don't talk to the girl that you want, you talk to her friend first to try to get her to introduce you, because referrals close way more than cold calls. I mean, that's not bro science. That's like actual
proven
science.
Yeah.
So try to get a referral if you can. And then you can't talk to a regional manager. So you have to have somebody introduce you. Don't like call corporate. They're going to be like, who are you? So it doesn't work that way.
Cool. Great insight right there.
What about you, Steve? What do you do to buy bulk? Do you ever buy bulk?
I don't really buy bulk. Right now, I'm just part-time on eBay, so I just kind of focus on the higher end items, and I bounce around and whatnot. But if I was to go bulk, I would probably follow a similar strategy to you. Building the relationship from the ground up, and then being introduced to the right person. But I have very little experience with that, so great insight right there. Ultimate Coupon Lady, what's going on, girl? Haven't seen you in a while. She's commenting in regards to the question I put out a couple minutes ago about should Chris charge should Chris charge his listers a price per item or give commission? And she's saying commission is an excellent idea, and if there's a return, it shouldn't be taken out of their commission unless the return was because of a mistake they made in the listing. Nike boxes in all caps. He is screaming at you at the top of his lungs, Chris, trying to get you to hear no commission. Aaron Clue just saying eBay listing sweatshop. Louis the Seller, who is a veteran in the reselling community. Good to see you, Louis. I would pay only if the item sells. So that's one of those things there where you could if you were going to do a commission, Chris, would you pay only if it sells, or would you pay like a small, kind of like waiters and waitresses at restaurants? How they get their small little tiny little breadcrumbs, and then they get the tip at the end. Would you do something like that, or would you say nothing up front, you only get the back end?
I had when I put up the ad on Craigslist for the person, I was saying, I hope you worked at a fast food restaurant or Starbucks or something that's quick serve, and like they rely on processes or it doesn't work. And one of the girls from Starbucks told me that she wants it a group commission. She's like, if me and two of my girlfriends did 100% of your listing, we could split it. So, which even can confuse me even more, because that's like a group tip jar. And it's like, man, now it's like really complicated. But then she's like, then you don't have to track individual commission.
Right.
We'll even do the accounting for you to keep you honest. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. I want to figure out how to get them to do the back end part, because, College Picker in the green room had said, your accounting is going to be a mess. And it is. There's so many items sold. When you rely on volume, it's a totally different thing, just tracking. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of pieces of this puzzle.
Tracking to pay out the the employees is one thing, right? And then having that all documented in a legal proper way for your accountant or bookkeeper at the end of the year, that's a whole nother story. So you have to think about that. A lot of times I've jumped into businesses and various deals, and my books weren't in line, and then the end of the year comes and you're like, holy mackerel, why did I do this? So quick question. Are you doing all your taxes on your own? Because, when I had started, I was pretty much on my own, and then my dad was helping me because he was a CPA. But are you doing everything on your own, or do you have a bookkeeper, or
So I'm using GoDaddy bookkeeping, and then I have a CPA.
Cool.
So that I closed down my store and reopened January 9th after a CPA told me what to do. And I'll be honest, it's already changed 4 or 5 times since January 9th with the same CPA.
Yeah.
Because he's looking at it like, okay, it's shifted, let's adjust. So it's an ongoing thing. That's why it's nice to have somebody local.
Mother's Mustache, who is going to win the award for the coolest name, is saying, I have a friend of a friend of a friend who pays a base pay. Then if they reach a certain number of listings, is pay per listing, gives them something to work towards. So that's interesting right there. If they reach a certain number of listings per day, gives them something to work towards. So that's interesting. That might be something to consider, where you say, all right, we have a goal. The start of the day, Christopher tells his team, all right, here's our goal. We're going to list 50 items within, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, whatever it is, right? I'm just throwing a random number out there. If you get to this number and beyond, you get an incentive, right? Maybe time and a half or something. Who knows? But you don't make any money on items that aren't listed, right? And you're with your business model, man, you're finding so many items, and even selling it at $10. If you're getting it for 50 cents, some people might be thinking, oh, he's only selling it for $10. What an idiot. Well, yeah, if you're a one-man show, I wouldn't recommend doing that. But with listers and stuff, if you can make a couple bucks on the back end, and having your listers do it, I don't see anything wrong with that.
I right now, both my listers are stay-at-home moms, and the goal bonus sounds great to me, because there's a fine line between contractor and employee. So I can't really require a certain amount of items to be done. But if I had a bonus, that's kind of a cheating way to do it. Like, I'll pay you $1 per listing, but if you get over 100 done this week, it goes to $2 or something, to get them to complete what I need them to do.
What is the difference, man? I've done some research in it. Sorry to interrupt you, but what's the difference from your knowledge? I know some of this could vary maybe between state to state, so obviously seek legal advice, anyone watching. But from your understanding where you live, what's your understanding of the difference between a 1099 contractor, right? Isn't that what it's called, a 1099 contractor?
That's right.
Versus an employee, because there's actually a difference there.
So 1099, first of all, they'd pay their own taxes, which is nice. And then, you file to the IRS. If they make, here it's over $600.
Same here.
You have to file a 1099. Yeah. And if I start providing some of the stuff for them, it becomes more and more like an employee. So I actually gifted my employees the light kit, all the stuff. One of them has an iPhone 6 that I bought that has no SIM card in it. I gave them basically all the tools, and they can do it whenever they want. That's where this like bonus for hitting a certain number of listings sounds really good to me. But like, I can't require them to do a certain number a day. I can't provide equipment. I can't. Yeah, it's and apparently being a mom is not a straight line. So the way they do listings is very random. Sometimes it's 30 in a day. Sometimes it's 0. Sometimes it's at 2 in the morning. I don't know, when they're listing. So it's very random.
Cool, man. I'm just going through the comments. How do you pay yourself from your business? Are you an LLC or S Corp paying yourself?
I'm set up as an S Corp, and my salary is 30 grand, and the rest goes into the business. But I'm not even really using that, since this is not my main source of income. It's just going straight back in the inventory. But that's how it's set up.
Rocco says, I'm thinking about employing this girl, talking to her about it right now. I miss having someone helping me out with eBay because that death pile just continues to grow, if you're just attacking it by yourself at times. So I'd highly recommend Rocco looking into it. We've got, who's this guy? There's this guy in the comment section, the Bonafide Hustler. I don't know who that is. Do you?
I heard he's a huge jerk. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
He's the guy who's
That guy
just
is awesome.
always lifting weights on the YouTube. He calls the title of the show "Live Clothing Haul" and just bench presses the whole time.
That's right.
Let's see. Sends Closet saying, "Hey, Bonafide." I'm just kidding. Bonafide's awesome. Give him a subscribe real quick. Jennifer Leland, what's going on, Jennifer? How you been? Haven't seen you around much. Yeah, I think that's about it. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big like. Only 86 likes. We got to hit 100 likes. We definitely would appreciate that. Do you think we should run a contest real quick for the people watching and maybe give away? I've been giving away my books lately. I have 101 killer clothing brands and 102 killer clothing brands. Do you think we should give it away to a lucky?
I think we should do
subscriber?
that. So people who have listened to us all the way through deserve something.
I think so because we only covered maybe, I don't know, I covered like 10 brands or so. You covered 10 or 15 brands. But in a couple of my books, I have 101 killer clothing brands, 102. Did you ever go through those, Chris?
Not yet. I haven't downloaded.
Dude, you're in the green room, man. It's free.
I know. All of that stuff is free. I need to take advantage of it.
Telling you, man, there's years of experience in there. But for the guys who are interested in it, we're gonna hold a contest. And what I need you to do, Christopher, is choose a word or something that anyone could do. Like, for example, the other day I said, name your favorite clothing brand, and then I picked a random person who named it. Why don't you hold a contest or something that's really easy, something that maybe I can easily track, and have them say a word or something, and we'll choose someone randomly and we'll hook them up with a couple books for free.
Okay. Let's see. Let's name a clothing brand that this will be a little bit more homework, but let's see here. I'm trying to make this easy. So yeah, why is this so hard?
What about a clothing brand that we mentioned or something like that?
Okay, no problem. If you guys mention a clothing brand in the comment section of one that we talked about today, I think that would be a great way to see who was listening the whole time, and Steve can just randomly pick one of those people for a winner.
You know what's crazy, man? Every time, like in the past, I've been asked, like, think of a question. Like, it's always so hard on the spot. There's a million different things you could say, but it's something about being live and being like, there's been times where like I've been sitting there for like 30 seconds and it's like so awkward. But there's a lot of people coming in. People are saying Patagonia, which wait, was Patagonia on there?
You had one. You had a jacket.
Oh yeah, I had the jacket. Someone's saying Lands End, Pendleton. I'm going to give about another 30 seconds or so. You guys can comment as many times as you want. But I want to say, in order to win, I'm going to double check. I am going to go over to Christopher's channel. In order to win, the winner has to be subscribed to Christopher. So in order to subscribe to him, go into the comments. It's the first line, subscribe to Christopher Lin. Click on this video and subscribe. So when you win, and when I pick the winner, I'm going to go over to his channel and make sure that you're subscribed to him. So the winner is going to get 101 killer clothing brands and 102 killer clothing brands for free, which those books are $19.95 each on the open market and still super relevant. Cool. You think I should pick right now, man? Or do you want to pick? Do you want to scroll through and just like count to 5 and stop your thing and see if they named? Just do something spontaneous and let me know who it is.
Let's do it live, but let's have you pick the 7th person since I don't have it pulled up.
Okay. Well, it's kind of hard to pick 7 because it's like moving so fast. So usually I'll just like stop it. Like it's moving incredibly fast. There's no way for me to know who the 7th one is. So I'll just take control of this. I'm going to just stop it. I'm going to count to 7. Okay.
Okay.
And whoever it lands on will be the winner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Was Land's End mentioned during the live show? I know the answer, Chris. Yes, it was. Absolutely. So the winner is Vintage Made. Vintage Made is the winner. So what I'm going to have you do, Vintage Made, is send a email over to support@greenroomuniversity.com, and our guy over there will coordinate with me. What I need you to do is send me a screenshot of your YouTube channel just to verify, and I'll send you over a coupon code to grab those books. So congratulations, Vintage Made. You're going to get 101 and 102 clothing brands. Killer
And I'm
clothing
gonna go
brands.
download them myself and just
What's
open them and
going
read
on,
it.
man?
I am so new to the thrift game. It's like drinking out of a fire hose. It's crazy how many brands there are.
How do you deal with like all the information, man? Like it's like being new, because I've been in this community for 3 or 4 years, so I've kind of figured out ways to like block certain things out and like take in certain things. But like as a new seller, like coming into this community and like seeing like a million YouTube channels, how do you figure out which water hose to sip from? As weird as that sounds.
I'm trying to incorporate this mentality for life, which is less but better. So just not less for less, but try to just improve. And so try to obviously get a higher average sale price. So I'm going to lean that direction. And then I'm also going to lean towards availability. So just because it's if it's profitable but available, I'm going deep that direction. And then I'm only going to go wider if the profit margin is higher. It's a delicate balance, but you definitely have to go in there.
Cool. Awesome, guys. So Christopher, thank you for coming on live. Thanks for everybody being super cool in the comments, for liking, subscribing to my channel and Christopher's as well. Do you have any final parting words, Christopher?
I just want you guys to see that this bin system is really organized, but before it's organized, it's just piles on the floor. So like it only looks like this, but it's most of the time it's a disaster, and it just takes time. So I mean, that's the part people don't show you, that it's hard. Like it's overwhelming, but you just do it one shirt at a time. So don't get overwhelmed. Get in there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Cool. I think you said it well. Well, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to give Christopher a subscribe, link down below. If you haven't already, like the video, comment, say hello afterwards. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Christopher's actually going to be on the Green Room show tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So he's going to be on. We're going to be talking about eBay as well, and we're going to be diving more into like the nuances of listing and just photography and systems and all the fun stuff. So yeah, guys, appreciate you watching. Christopher, thanks for coming on, and we will see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time on the Bonafide Hustlers YouTube channel.
Thanks,
See
guys.
ya.